Over all the different ways I've used, like the ultra simplest through to more complex things. I actually thought I came up with this idea, but all I did was get one piece of charcoal going and get it so it was like half white, like well lit, and then just sprinkled wood chips on it. And the wood chips would be just smouldering and smoking away. And this also was done on a larger scale with a Dutch butcher I knew many, many years ago. And he would just have the leftovers from a furniture, it was like untreated wood from a furniture making store or factory. And then he would put a big pile on the bottom, get a little bit of a blowtorch going, get it going, and then there you go. Let it smolder. Just a massive double-doored steel chamber. I remember a lot of the neighbours around the butchery used to complain as well, which is funny. For many, many years, I used this other kind of technique. I mean, again, you're getting some smouldering combustion going and getting the cold smoke going, but you're doing it a little bit more controlled and consistent. Pellet tube smoker, basically the same as a maize smoker as well, where you have a maize, you light one end and it goes around. This, you get one end going and it burns down. You do get pretty good consistency. It does burn a bit hot, and because if you're doing it in the same chamber, then it can produce a bit of heat. But pellet tube smoker, you can imagine the many variations you could use this in just about anything. I've used it underneath the gas grill barbecue, just in a steel tray, and had it coming up to cold smoke dry cured salami. I've used it underneath the old kettle grills and next to drums, and also underneath like a commercial steel smoking cabinet. Lots of different uses. So I like it because it's simple and you don't need power. Then you've got the beast. I think it's pretty, I mean, you're talking like 5 times the cost, but the smoke eye and smoke generators, the 3 that I've come across, there's the Smoke Daddy in America, which I didn't like because it seemed to burn a lot of wood and burn very heavy. Then you've got UFO smoker, which basically, it's one of those over here, copied what a smoke eye was. It comes in many different sizes, but basically it's my go-to now. You can mount it on anything you want, and you have an area which the smoke goes into, and then an air pump that pushes the air through. So it's drawing, and so it's a Venturi effect, VENTURI. This one it comes apart, which the UFO one doesn't do, and you just get a ton of smoke out there. You sometimes, depending on the wood, in New Zealand, we have a Manuka. It's also in Australia. It's kind of type of tea tree wood, and it's used very much for a lot of smoking. It has a lot of resin in it. So any wood that has a heavier resin in it, you get it dropping down. Won't get into smoking woods, but the key is you don't use evergreen wood generally, even though some European countries do use conifers and pines. You just use wood that has low resin, low sap, and not evergreen. We're going to be doing my old dry cured secret cold smoked bacon, and probably be using the smoke eye. I only put about 4 to 6 hours actually into it as well. So when you get, the thing is about smoke houses, and when you get into that bigger kind of environment, you're still really using the same type of setup. Unless I did know another butcher many, many years ago, this would have been 15 years ago, and he gave me a good tour of his facilities out the back. It was a big butcher, and he had this giant cold smoker. And he said he could cold smoke things, which others would take, say, 10 hours to do. He could do it in 15 minutes. And that is on a commercial scale. But I believe the way it worked is it pressurized the environment, and then if it's pressurizing it, you can force the smoke vapor in more. So that's on the extreme end of it. Probably the go-tos are these bad boys right here. So there'll be heaps more on cold smoking. If you want a guide on cold smoking, I'll link it below. This channel is going to be just always all about cold smoking, dry curing, charcuterie, and that's about it. All right, thanks for watching. See ya.